I want to get to Turkey because there's a lot happening there, right, Manis?
Yeah, we've got signals coming through that they're not ready to back Sweden's bid for NATO membership. Turkey summoned Sweden's ambassador after supporters of a Kurdish group hung an effigy of the Turkish president by his feet outside Stockholm's City Hall. That was yesterday. Simone Foxman has the story. She's in Doha. So Simone, I mean, these discussions have been going on for months. Will an incident like this completely blow it off track?
I mean, look, things weren't necessarily on track anyway. And while the Swedish foreign minister called this protest despicable, he also said that, you know, Sweden fosters open debates and you're allowed to protest things. And that's really been the message that Sweden has sent over recent weeks, including earlier this week when Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson said that Sweden had done all the things that Turkey had asked of them. But, quote, they also say they want things we cannot and do not want to give them. Now, most of the focus here is around the potential extradition of people who Turkey says are terrorists, specifically from pro-Kurdish groups, potentially people who are linked to the PKK, which is a militant Kurdish group, also around arms sales. This appears to be an ongoing issue. Anti-Kurdish sentiment is also something that's pretty important for President Erdogan in domestic elections in Turkey that are going to happen in the middle of this year. So frankly, it doesn't necessarily look like this conversation is going anywhere quickly. And of course, if Finland don't get Turkey's vote, then they can't join NATO.
Right, and then officials in Saudi Arabia, basically the sovereign wealth fund there, the PIF, they have come up with a legal response. And the description here is that they don't have to show up for an upcoming trial where Tesla investors are alleging Elon Musk misled them. What else came through in the statement?
Yeah, so this trial, just to clue you in here, is about the funding secured tweet and a couple other tweets that Elon Musk made about Tesla back in August 2018. And he alleges at that time that he'd had these discussions with Saudi PIF and that they'd been very open to providing funding to support Tesla going private, that there was some sort of handshake agreement that was made back in a month before in July 2018. And so he really wanted PIF officials to testify, especially Yasser Al-Rumayyan, the governor there. But the lawyers for the PIF saying, you know, there were legally deficient subpoenas that Musk has sent to them. They don't want to testify. And that is likely to hurt Musk's case simply because he's going to rely on one-sided things, emails as well as text messages. But essentially, he's going to have to argue this himself rather than being able to rely on corroboration from Saudi PIF.
And we're tracking the Egyptian pound. We've had multiple sort of gyrations in this. In terms of the outlook, where do the economists see a moment of stability at around 30? What is the consensus that's building, or is there more volatility to come?
Yeah, that does seem to be the consensus that's building. Citigroup writing that the end of the devaluation process is close, particularly considering that, and you can check this out in our GTV Go chart, we're approaching the black market rate, roughly 31 pounds to the U.S. dollar. We are pretty close to that, even though we've retraced some of those losses yesterday. One also thing that analysts have also pointed to as potential interesting signs of confidence in the Egyptian market, there were purchases, $236 million worth of purchases of Egyptian treasury bonds on Wednesday. Also a lot of volume in that market. So perhaps investors getting a little bit more excited about what Egypt has to offer after all of this hubbub.
Yeah, some investors, about some investments. We'll flesh that out a little bit later on in the show. Simone, thank you for that. Simone Foxman at the Qatar Financial Center in Doha.